Welcome to Gentle Restorative. My name is Sandra, and I would love for you to take a comfortable seat and just close your eyes. Better already, right? Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Again, another deep inhale through the nose. Loud exhale through the mouth. And then let's take both arms all the way up. Bring the palms together and release the hands home to your heart in prayer pose, where we will pause to set our most fabulous intention. And when you're done, go ahead and release the hands. Will you take your bolster over by your left side? And then let's go ahead and just drape both legs off to the right. So nothing formal here. You can change this up as you need to. Sit up nice and tall. Turn toward the bolster, and then let's slowly come down. So you can either have your hands on the bolster. If you can make it down to your forearms, that's fair. And if you can make it all the way down, also fair. And there's no right or wrong, so I want you to choose what makes you happy. And close your eyes right here. So I was thinking, as for our theme for this class, I kind of miss pulling out the oracle cards in class. They're so much fun, and if you haven't used oracle cards before, you might have some occasions where your jaw just hits the ground because you just cannot believe the card that you chose. I'll back up and kind of explain what oracle cards are if you have never used them before. So you have your tarot deck, and then you have oracle decks. And tarot, no matter which deck you buy, is always going to be based on the same story. It's the story of a fool moving through, his path of life. Oracle cards don't follow a path like that, so you can just pull one, and that could be your message for the day. Or you can, ask a question and pull a card or two or three or nine, however you want to do it. And you read the cards and, look at the picture, and all oracle cards have a book with them too, so you can understand better maybe what your card is trying to tell you. I think the fun thing about oracle card decks is that whatever your interest is, you're going to find a deck that pertains to that interest, right? So you could have a deck about cats. It could be about crystals. It could be about angels. It could be archangels. It could be, you name it. There is an oracle card deck for it. And that kind of makes it interesting and fun. If you're intrigued and you want to find your own deck, go on the internet, and when you find a deck you think you like, I want you to Google search it so you can actually see the pictures on the cards. I think that's important, because if you don't resonate with the pictures, I don't know, the deck might not be as inspiring to you. So I definitely like to look at individual cards and just kind of see what the artist was like and how things were drawn, and if it resonates with me. So I thought of a way that we can pull cards today, even though I can't see you. And we'll make it work. I think we'll have some fun with that. So, excuse me. So I left you over here to the left. Take a deep inhale. Let it go. And then go ahead and slowly push your way back up. Fabulous. Let's go ahead and switch that off to the other side. Drape the legs to the left. Sit up nice and tall, turn toward the bolster. And again, this all depends on how tight the body feels. So you could just place your hands right there and stay here. Forearms, or perhaps you come on further down. So again, totally up to you. So the other thing that is kind of fun about oracle cards is you don't have to know a storyline to read the cards. You can get certified in reading cards. I'm certified. I took a year-long course, but that was because I was interested, and it was fun. You don't have to get certified to read oracle cards. Anybody can read them. And so what you do when you have something you're pondering, or life's throwing, I was going to say life's throwing a curveball. Life's throwing quite a few right now, so you pick and choose which curveball you want to inquire about. And then, make that the focus of your question. So when we ask a question to the universe, we want to pose it as a sentence with gratitude and as though we've already been given the answer. So what I say in my head is, thank you, universe, for letting me draw a card that pertains to, and then I fill in the blank. You can change that. The words don't have to be the same as mine, but just, a thank you is a good way to start. If you're not comfortable saying universe, skip it, say whatever you want. Thank you for letting me draw a card that pertains to this. So it's up to you to kind of create your own ritual, which, I don't know, I think is also intriguing. All right, take a deep breath here. Let it go. Go ahead, gently push your way back up. And then keep the bolster close. I'm just moving mine. I'm going to turn sideways here for a moment. Let's stretch out the legs. So right leg in front, Janu Shirshasana. And then sit up nice and tall. Play around with where your fold is going to be. If you come down a little bit and you feel the hamstrings tighten up, that's exactly where I want you to stop and stay and close your eyes so you're not judging yourself. You can't see how far you are from your leg. And then, as things loosen up, you can see if you can come down any lower. So as you become more interested in pulling oracle cards, you'll find that there are different ways to pull the cards. You can pull one. If you're looking for that quick message, you could pull three. And it just depends on your intention. It could be like a past, present, future kind of draw pertaining to the situation you're asking about. Or when I draw three, I like it to be more about strength, heart, and challenge. You could do 6-card draws. You could do 9. I mean, there are so many possibilities. And again, if you start to get intrigued, go online. You will find a plethora of draws to keep you busy for quite a while. All right, go ahead and come on up. I'm just going to take that left hand right behind me. Inhale the right arm up, and then let's just bend into that left arm. Once you've leaned back and you're kind of comfortable there, see if you can lift the heart. So I just added a little arch to my spine. Breathe. And let's make our way back up and switch out the legs. I wanted to stretch the legs out first because the first restorative pose I have in mind kind of, it'll be much happier if we stretch the legs out first. Now you're really all excited, right? Okay, bathroom break. Don't know what pose is coming up. Go ahead and come on down when you're ready. Let's see, what else can I tell you about oracle card decks? They will range in how many cards are in each deck. Generally they're in the 50s, but not always. Some of the decks will come with writing on the top and on the bottom. I tend to steer away from those because when you spread the cards out and you're looking for the card that's calling to you, I don't want to see words on top. I don't want to be influenced by seeing the word peace. Of course I want peace, right? And then pulling that card. So that might be something to consider too if you're looking into getting a deck. And then we'll talk about what to do with that deck before we draw. Let's take another breath here. Go ahead and make your way up. And as you do, take that right arm behind you. I'm going to bend into the elbow. Just lean back till I'm comfortable. Inhale that left arm up. And then just pop that heart center a little bit. Breathe. And come back to center. All right, so we need the bolster and perhaps the blanket. I see mine across the room under a chair, so I'm not even going to bother grabbing it right now unless I really need it. If you want to use the blanket, it's going to go underneath the knees. Bolster is going up on top of your straightened out legs. And then you might want another prop there. We're going to be leaning forward and coming into a fold. So if this is so far away that the head's just hanging here unhappily, then let's add a block or two so that the head has somewhere to go. Now, what I do want to do in this restorative fold, I usually don't give you guys direction on what the head is doing except that it's resting somewhere. I want you to turn to look to your left. So as we're sitting here, just getting a gentle stretch, perhaps in the right side of the neck, maybe in the shoulders. Like I feel it going kind of across the top of my left shoulder. I just want to relax right here. So if you're thinking to yourself or you're yelling at me through the video that this is not restorative and it's not comfortable and your head can nowhere come near that block, then make some changes, right? It doesn't have to look like I have it set up. It's supposed to be how you want it. So, all right. Sorry about the dogs. Once you're comfortable there, just close your eyes and hang out. I'm going to keep talking to you about oracle cards. So when you get a deck, meaning it's brand new or somebody is sharing a deck with you, or you have shared your deck with somebody and now you got it back, I just want you to think about whose energy is on the deck. Each time you use it, you want your energy on the deck. And so all you need to do is simply hold the deck and close your eyes. You could state an intention in your mind that you are sharing your energy with the deck, but that isn't even necessary. It's just in touching it, I'm now getting my energy back on the cards. So once we have our energy on the deck, that's when I would have you close your eyes and set your intention as to what you're asking for. You've heard me say often that most of us do not know what to ask for. And in which case, guess what? You don't have to know. You could just say, thank you for letting me draw the card that would be best for me right now. Right? That's easy, that's fair, that's simple to remember. Or thank you for letting me draw the card that would give me a message for today or for tomorrow, whatever you want to say. So I want you to start thinking about your intention, what it is you're going to ask. If you seriously do have a pressing issue going on, you can ask about that. It's totally up to you. So I want you thinking. Of course, I'll be drawing the cards for you, but you're going to have some say in this, and I think that's where the fun's going to come in. All right. I'll stop talking so you can think about your question. While you're thinking, go ahead and turn your head to the right. And then we'll just gently turn the head to center. You can round your way back up or walk your way back up. And then we'll set those props off to the side. So when you're ready, let's come on over to the table. You You still have plenty of time to think about that question if you haven't come up with one yet. Go ahead, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. And then when you're ready, I want to come on down into half dog or puppy pose. So arms reach out in front of you, forehead to the mat or to a prop, or chin to the mat or to a prop. That's totally up to you. So while you're hanging out right there for a moment, I'll continue as to how we draw cards with the deck. So now we've held the deck, we've set our intention. Now you're just going to shuffle up the cards. And you don't have to be a fancy shuffler. You can spread them out on the floor and mess them all up if you want to. Just get them mixed up, right? We don't want them in the same order that we drew last time, perhaps. All right, go ahead, walk the hands back in. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog, walk it out. And when you're ready, lift the heels, round the back, come forward into plank. I promise we're not going to stay here. Once you get to plank, set the knees down, untuck the toes to modify mini chaturanga. And then cobra. Playing cobra for a moment. Move around. Okay, so now we've shuffled the deck, right? What happens next really is up to your intuition, your gut feeling. You could draw your card off the top of the deck, or you could fan them out. I like to fan them out. I like to look at them, the top part, and pick the card or cards that I feel are beckoning me or calling to me. Go ahead, come on down. Take this to gecko on the left side. We're going to take the left hand right to the back of the left hip or even into the sacrum and see if you can just push down just a little bit. You might slide that knee out a little bit farther. And then you can bring the arm back. And as you focus on your breath, allow each exhale to feel heavy. Like you let go of that breath and the body just sinks. If you're holding the straight leg in place, let it go. Let it fall wherever it wants to. Do a quick body scan. Is any part of the body holding you in place? Right? What I mean by that is, are we engaging muscles to be here? Or have you softened everything and just let go? And then let's keep that left leg where it is. Let's just make our way up into Sphinx with the arms. Elbows are underneath the shoulders unless this is too much on your low back, in which case elbows could either go forward or they could go wide. So lifting the heart here. Drop the head. And then go ahead and use that left hand for support. I want to push myself onto my right side. I'll stay on the form of that right arm right now, just so I have some support and some balance. Let's go ahead and pull that left foot in closer. You might be able to just rest your left arm up on that knee. So a super lazy lizard, right? Notice if you're caving into the supporting shoulder. Can we push the mat away? Lengthen out here. Close your eyes. You're just basking in the sun. Life is good. And then I'm going to take the left hand to grab that left foot and just gently draw it in behind me. If you don't like being perched up on the elbow here, you can drop down lower. And then slowly let go. Come back on down to your stomach. Take Gecko to the right. Once you get comfortable, take the right hand, gently push down on that right hip or sacrum. See if you can get the hip a little closer to the earth. And then you can set that right arm back down. So when you're picking your cards, to me, the most important aspect, I mean, besides your intention and you've asked something, the most important thing is that you're picking the cards that are calling to you. And it is my sincere belief that you always pick the card you're meant to have. And so it's because we're setting an intention. So for us right now, when I draw cards for you, it is my intention setting that those are the cards that will help you the most right now. And you're going to choose which one is meant for you. So we'll get there. All right, let's leave that right leg open. Come on up into Sphinx. Again, make some adjustments. Who knows, this might be tighter in the right sacrum, low back, or right hip. So this isn't right for you. Make some changes. We're going to inhale, lift through the heart and the chin. Exhale, hold the sternum, just drop the head. And then from here, I'm just using my right hand to give me some support to get onto my left side. And just bring that foot, I probably should have turned around, bring that foot down in front of your bottom thigh, our super duper lazy lizard. I'm calling it that because technically the pose is up here, lazy lizard. So down here, we're in super lazy restorative lizard, which I kind of like. Now again, just watch out that left side ribs aren't sinking and that you haven't caved into that left shoulder. We are lifting. Breathe. And then right hand grabs that right foot, gently pulls it behind you. And let it go. So instead of coming back to our stomach, go ahead and push your way back up for a moment. We need that bolster. I think I'll grab my block just in case. The bolster is going to go middle of my mat, but running parallel with it. And then I want to sit up on the very edge. I'm going to lengthen out my legs. And in fact, what you could do is you could take your second block if you have one. You could put it out underneath your ankles if you want to. We're going to roll back, and the head is going to be off of the mat, and the shoulders will kind of roll off as well. So I grabbed my extra block in case you really hate this. Then you could just slide the other block under your head, and it's just kind of fun to lay up here and feel the shoulders roll off. If you feel like, your head isn't comfortably on the ground, well, that's okay. Go ahead and bend the knees. You could scooch back a little bit on your bolster, right? So it's totally up to you. I kind of liked my block pillow, so I think I'm going back to that. Just relax here. Imagine the weight of the spine just succumbing to the rise of the bolster. You have all the support you need. All right, if you have not thought about your question, this is the last time to do so before I draw cards. So get something in mind. And I think what you'll find, interesting too is if you do this video again on YouTube, you can choose a different card. Doesn't mean that card wasn't meant for you. It means you didn't pick it today because it wasn't the right one for you today. So feel free to, replay this class and pick a different card if that's the one that's calling to you, right? I should have saved this pose for later. It feels too darn comfortable, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. I'll keep my eyes open so I don't fall asleep on you. This feels really good. We're going to follow the breath for a moment. If there's any pranayama you want to switch to, it could be 3-part breathing, it could be ujjayi, it could be alternate nostril, it could be counting your breath, it could be focusing on breath retention, it could be just noticing the pauses between the inhale and the exhale. Whatever it is, just pick what makes you happy. And if you don't want to do any of that, just follow the breath. And then let's all take a deep inhale. Loud cleansing exhale. And however it's easiest for you to get up. If you want to just roll off to his side, that's totally fine. If you have a different way that's calling to you, let's go ahead and find it and just make your way back up into any seated pose. Oops, I need to scooch further back so you can see the cards. All right, get comfortable. And I want you to close your eyes for a moment. I want you to set your intention out into the universe. So thank you for letting me draw the card that is about this, or is the best card for me today, or whatever you got going on. While you're thinking about that, I'm going to shuffle the cards. I always shuffle 3 times because I used to play a lot of cards with my grandma, and she told me you can't shuffle a deck more than 3 times because then they'll go back in the same order. I probably believed that. Okay, so anyway, deck is shuffled. I'm going to spread the cards out because that's just how I like to do it. But again, if you have your own deck and you want to draw from the top, you go right ahead. So I set my intention that I would draw the cards that were best for all of you right now. And so I'm looking at the cards. I'm going to draw the 3 that are calling to me. Okay. This is where the fun's going to come in. Let me back these cards up so you guys can see them better. All right. So I drew this one as the first card. So this is number 1 over here. Number 2 is center. and number 3 is over here on my right. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. Either look straight at those cards in your whatever you're viewing on, or close your eyes and picture them. And I want you to intuitively decide which card is meant for you. So you're going to come up with that number, 1, 2, or 3. Got it? I heard an echo of yeses, so I'm assuming we're all good. All right, so what I intend to do is I'm going to flip all 3 cards. I'm going to tell you what the name of the card is. And then as we go through the sequence, I was going to say we're going to discuss the card, but really I'm going to lecture you on the card and you're going to listen and then take with you whatever resonates. And like I told you, every Oracle card deck has a book, so I'll also read out of the book to you as well. All right, so if you chose card number 1, your card is Mother Mary. If you chose card number 2, you chose nature. And if you chose card number 3, believe in yourself. So these are the 3 cards we're going to talk about. And like I said, next time you do this video, you can choose a different card if that's the one that's calling to you, right? All right. Let's go ahead. Move your props off the mat. Come back to table. Whoop. And we're going to be talking about the Mother Mary card first. All right. So from here, let's get that right foot forward. If you do have 2 blocks, I always think it makes this so much happier. And my hamstrings are really not happy with me today. So actually, this is like day 3. They haven't been happy with me. We're going to straighten out that right leg, flex the foot. Just pause here. Just notice what's going on. Move the left hip forward. So many options here. Option A, stay right here. Keep that smile on your face, right? Option B, you might come down lower into a fold. You can play around with where that edge is. The farther forward you take the hands, the more challenging the fold is going to feel. Just a little FYI. And so you decide where that's going to be for you, and just hang on right there and breathe. So the Mother Mary card to me is about nurturing. It's about support. It's about paying attention to, have you ever had a moment where you just feel like nobody gets you, you have no support, no one's around to help you? While I get that feeling, and sure, I've been there too, because we're human, it just generally isn't true because there's so much unseen support. And so that card reminds me to start relying on your spirit guides, angels. It could be a deceased loved one who, maybe you talk to, you ask for guidance. And so just to know that that's out there for you. I'll tell you what the book says in just a second. We're going to pull the hips forward, take that into a lunge, lift the heart. And then everybody's favorite pose. Come on. We're going to take the hips back a little bit, and that front leg working its way to the side. We're coming down into pigeon. So if you don't like pigeon, or if you think it doesn't like you, flip over onto your back and do a supine pigeon, right? Make sure the hips are level. And then grab something, bring it out in front of you. Come on down, close your eyes. And just hang out here while I tell you more about the Mother Mary card. So this card is the embodiment of unconditional love and compassion. And that makes sense, right? That is what we would expect from a mother figure. That is what we would expect from a support system. This card calls for you to look at the people in your life as well as yourself with this same love. The Mother Mary card can help you embrace your gifts and talents and honor yourself in every moment. Sometimes called the Divine Nurturer, she reminds you to be proud of how far you've come in this lifetime and encourages you to keep moving forward. Mother Mary protects, guides, and supports all the children, including indigo children. She also helps you to help others. So call upon Mother Mary to open your heart and make you aware of what a blessing you are to this planet. So if you're not familiar with the term indigo child, I'm going to explain that because I really do believe that the kids, the people that fall under that label are the ones who are really struggling right now. They are so empathic that I compare it to a bodhisattva. They're so empathic. They feel the weight of the world, and it is a serious weight for them. It's the unhappiness of the earth and the people seriously impacts somebody who's very sensitive to that. So yeah, like a bodhisattva who hears the cries of the world, right? Okay, I left you on this side long enough. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly push your way back up. Oh, let's tip into that right hip. Draw the left leg around. Just hug the knees in for a moment. So if you drew that Mother Mary card, it's kind of asking you to think about, is it you who needs support? Or keep your eyes open. Is there somebody around you who you could help out? Maybe you just haven't noticed. Life makes us a little busy sometimes, and maybe we're just not hearing that somebody's reaching out to us for help, right? And so we can be a support system to a lot of people without being visible to them. Like I was explaining, maybe the angels aren't visible, right? We can be a support system just like that too. All right, come back to table. Other side. Use your blocks if you would like them as you ask that left leg to come on forward. Just pause here, breathe. Pull that right hip forward a little bit. And then it's up to you to figure out where you want to end up, right? So just find your stretch. Oh, I am so sore today. Find your happy place, close your eyes. Let's talk about card number 2. So for those of you who chose the nature card, what's interesting about this picture is you have a male angel who's grabbing onto lightning. So the word that comes to my mind is power. Do you feel empowered when you go out in nature? Do you need to go out because you're not very grounded or rooted? Do you rely on the support of nature to, I don't want to say power again, but that's the word that I keep thinking of, to give you that power that you need to move forward in whatever you asked about. Go ahead, bring the hips forward, find that lunge, lift the heart. There's so much purple in this card too. Purple, would be the crown chakra, but there's a blue edge, so we could also say it's third eye, and that's intuition, meditation. So interesting. Looking forward to reading you the page out of there. But first, pull the hips back, wiggle or grab that left leg, either way you want to, across your mat into pigeon. When you're happily settled, just come on down. You can land on a prop and close your eyes. All right, that nature card. So if you drew this nature card and you're an indigo child, don't mistake that for meaning like a little kid. That that term came out quite a while ago, and we have indigo adults here as well. It means you're extremely sensitive, and you can unknowingly absorb negative energy, which then affects you and those around you negatively. This limits your understanding of your amazing life purpose. So the angels ask you to step away temporarily and spend time in nature connecting with this beautiful planet. It's time for you to explore the world outside your home and workplace. You are so much more than what you experience in your normal daily routine. Allowing yourself to be immersed in the earth's energy can be a healing and cleansing experience that will help you ground yourself and release that which no longer serves you. So, like I had mentioned, it's nature's root chakra. Root chakra is earth element, right? And so generally when we are drawn to being outside or touching a tree or being barefoot, it's because we need to be more rooted. We're feeling, the word flighty is not really great, but we're in the upper chakras and we need to be pulled back down. We need some security. And so perhaps you drew this card because your foundation, your security, feels off. For most of us, I would think in this situation, this world situation, that is the case anyway. So think about how much that's affecting you. It could be a completely different topic going on in your world that is throwing you off a little bit. And when I say security, it could be relating to finances, relationships, your home life, anything that doesn't make you feel safe throws off the root chakra. All right, I know you're in your very happy place, but take a deep breath. And as you exhale, let's push our way back up, tip into that left hip, pull the right leg all the way around, and hug the knees back in. All good? Hips are better? Okay, let's come on down. Let's grab the blanket for a pillow. Put a block on either side of you. Yeah, that feels good. Okay, straighten out that left leg. Draw the right knee in. You can grab onto it and hug it in for a second. But we're going to come into our supine twist. So I want that block off to your left, wherever you think that right knee is going to land. Arms, wherever you want them. And then just close your eyes. So some of you chose the Believe in Yourself card. And this female angel, she's gripping tightly to a rope. She seems to be hanging in midair. So just the picture of the card is telling me that for those of you who chose this one, which actually I did too in my head as well, you are your own support system. Like I get that from the picture because the rope doesn't continue beneath her. She literally is hanging in midair. She is relying on herself to hold herself in place. You have that strength to do that as well. You simply need to believe it, right? We all have, we all share the same prana, life force energy. We all have a unique spark somewhere deep inside that heart chakra or the heart center. I believe we all have the answers to our life. It's just a matter of accessing them, hearing them, trusting them. And so if you chose this card, I want you to think about the question you posed. What situation are you not trusting yourself in? Let's see what the book has to say. This card is primarily blue. That's throat chakra. So what I would say about that is it's also reminding you to really listen to yourself and what you're saying to yourself. So when you receive this card, the angels want you to see yourself and your potential the way they do. They view you as an unlimited person with infinite potential. Right now, the most important thing you can do is realize this for yourself. Ask the angels to release any doubt or fear that you have about your life and your path. Those doubts are part of being an indigo because you're strongly affected by negative energy. By believing in yourself, you're telling the angels that you wish to live up to your full potential in this life, and they will take immediate action to guide you accordingly. So, go ahead and pull that knee back to center. Stretch the right leg out. Pull the left one in. Give it a squeeze. And then take your supine twist to the right. So let's talk about this card just another moment. Do you believe that you have infinite potential? Do you believe that truly nothing holds you back? And think about that in the context of the question that you asked. The power of the mind and positive affirmations is just immense. And so if you do not believe in yourself, can you just start saying it? 30 days. Wake up. Look in the mirror. I totally believe in myself. And see what happens close to day 30. All right. Just hang out in this twist just a little longer. So you might have noticed that each description for this deck said something about indigo children. That is what kind of deck it is. I just feel very attached to this deck. So, if that confuses you, you kind of liked the oracle cards, but you weren't so sure about this whole indigo child thing, grab a different deck. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of decks, and they're easy to find. You know where my favorite place is. It's Google. So, if you already have an interest in birds, Google bird oracle cards and see what comes up. All right, we're going to slowly release that supine twist. Plant your feet so you can help shift around and realign the spine and the hips in a straight line. And then let's hug both knees into the heart. When you're ready, you're going to slowly straighten out the legs. Reach the arms way overhead. And then when you're ready, bring the arms back down. I want you to settle into your Shavasana space. So grab whatever you would like. If you want the bolster under the knees, go ahead and put it there. If you want your blanket to cover up with. So we're settling into the space. We're closing our eyes. And then one of my other big rules about oracle cards is think outside the box, right? Don't take the words exactly, at face value. We could say that the nature card, it might, in correlation to what question you asked, it could be a message about your nature, your characteristic, right? Your character. So I want you to set the intention that while you are having the most amazing experience in Shavasana, I don't want you to think about the card. You're just setting the intention that maybe something else comes to you that makes sense about the card you chose and the question you asked. I'll come back and get you. yourself to bring your focus back to your breath. Invite in some movement if you so choose. If you prefer to lay still a little longer, I totally understand. And when you're ready, just go ahead and roll to a side. And then with a deep breath, gently push your way back up. Any seated pose you like. Strong inhale through the nose. Super loud exhale. And then reach the arms all the way up. Bring the palms together and release them back home to your heart in prayer pose. The light in me bows to the light in you. When I'm in that place in me and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.